Hello, everyone, and welcome to Difference Makers Media. This is Lynn Sanders, your host, and I appreciate your time in joining us today for our special program on productivity tips. Our theme for this week is building trust to boost your success. So, how do we do that? Well, today you're going to be hearing some basics on marketing, as well as the advantages of new media to build trust and boost your productivity. You'll also be hearing tips from thought leaders on how they use new media to build trust and success. So let's start out with some of the basics. You might know some of these tips anyway, but it's always good to have a review. What are the basics in marketing? First, what is your product or service? Next, what problems do your clients have? Third, how can you help your clients? How can you solve their problems? And last but not least, who is your target market? Now, some of those things seem very ordinary, but I can't tell you how many times I've talked to business leaders or business people I know, and when I ask them who their target is, they say everybody. Well, everybody really isn't your target. To get really specific, you can attract more people to follow you because you're showing that you're addressing their needs and concerns. And also the point about marketing as far as finding out how you can help solve your clients' problems is very important. Many people, when they write copy about their products or services, they write facts. They don't write benefits. So whenever you communicate with an audience, you want to show that you understand their problems, you can solve their problems, and you're addressing their specific concerns. Now let's move to the fact of how do you do marketing. Marketing has changed dramatically over the past 10 years. Most people are familiar with the traditional marketing approach, which is TV, radio, and print. That also happens to be the most expensive way to do marketing. But let me ask you, how many newspapers do you see out there nowadays? And how thick are the magazines? Unless it's a gossip magazine, you may have noticed that major magazines have gotten much thinner. Unfortunately, people just aren't reading as much. They're getting their information online. So besides traditional marketing, people have also tuned into online marketing. Online marketing includes pay-per-click ads, Facebook ads, Google ads. Those costs are significantly less than traditional marketing, but still it's an approach that's reaching out to someone but not engaging with them. The most effective way of marketing that I found and most other thought leaders have also found is online media. Now, online media is a way where you can engage your listeners. You can talk with them. You can listen to their problems, and you can get involved. How do you do that? Well, you do that by being involved on social media sites. I'd like to share with you some of the favorite sites that I go to and that are most popular, I feel, in reaching new clients. And those sites include, these are my top 5, if I can find my notes here. Facebook. Well, whatever, I'll speak to you directly. Facebook. Number 2, Google Plus, which we'll be going into more detail on another productivity tip. YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Those are my top 5. And you can go to each of those sites and establish your own business account in addition to having a personal account. So if you go to facebook.com, in addition to having your name as an account, put your business name in there and start engaging with people as a business. The same thing for LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Google+. Now, the other important thing to know, and I'm going to give you these 5 tips, is how do you engage properly on social media? Well, in addition to focusing on your marketing platforms, you want to spend 80% of your time, 80% of that time, reaching out to others and listening what they have to say and commenting on their posts and giving them helpful information. Then 20% of that time, you can share your benefits because people won't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You may have heard me say that before. It's a popular saying because it's really important. People have to know you're really invested in learning and helping them before they would want to reach out to you. And that's what trust is all about, showing people that you care. So how do you do that? Well, in addition to going to 5 top sites, and you can pick your 5, the next I would say is to create new content daily. That's number 2 on my list. So set aside time every day. It could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour. Block it on your calendar and make that your time to do marketing, your time to reach out on these social media sites. You can write in a blog, and then you can post that content on an e-zine. That's an article that's online. In fact, there's a great site called ezinearticles.com. Take your blog and repurpose it on ezinearticles.com. You can take that same content and make it into a video like this. Or you can take the audio content and it could become a podcast. You can use multiple formats to create content because people are searching for information on multiple sites. Next, and I'm doing this today, I would recommend when you do your marketing, use a timer. If you're like me, you might get lost in time, meaning that you get so engrossed and so involved in what you're doing that you lose track of time, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 5 o'clock and you've got to do something else. So you can use a timer online. If you have two computers, it's very helpful if you're doing a video, and then you can go to onlinestopwatch.com or Google other timers, and you can program how much time you want to set aside, click a button for set, and then click another button for start. It's an excellent way to keep track of your time so you stay focused. Next, you'll want to connect all your social media accounts. That means when you're using LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, you can reference the different accounts by using links. In fact, on your website, you'll want to also include social media sites with icons and make sure those icons actually work and go to those specific sites. So the more you're out there and connected, the more engaged you are, the more people will find you, and then they will get to feel more trusting of you because they know you through the online media. In fact, that's how you'll establish yourself as a thought leader. I want to share with you some special advice from some thought leaders that I've been reading from. And one of them is Perry Marshall, and he wrote a book called 80-20, how you spend 80% of your time and if you spend 80% of your time on 20% of your clients, you'll get the most results from those 20%. And I'll just share one of his tips. A prospect who finds you first is more likely to buy from you than if you find him. That means instead of you having to reach out to prospects all the time, once your content is on social media, if they find you, they will more likely buy from you. Another great book I wanted to recommend is The Trust Edge by David Horsager, and he talks about how top leaders can gain faster results, build deeper relationships, and a stronger bottom line by building trust. I would highly recommend this. And I'll just share one tip from him. He says consistency leads to trust. That means being out there regularly. And last but not least, on my fifth tip here, I would recommend recycling your information. Get it out there in multiple formats, and it will help you build your success. So thank you for listening. This is Lynn Sanders. I recommend being consistent, sharing your content, and building relationships. And you'll find that you'll become quite successful. All the best to you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.